who have the possibility of having an education.
Could you say that one more time?
The children who don't have shoes probably do not go to school.
Okay.
When assessing if the family has money to send the kids to school, they have to figure in the cost of the shoes. And many of them are too poor to buy shoes. They also have to purchase their books and pens. Approximately 600 birr to send a child to school for a year. Oftentimes the kids decide not to go to school to save the family expense. The kids go half days to school and then work the fields the other half. And then they have to study, and they have no lights at night to study with. Because there's no electricity out here. You can tell we're huffing and puffing going directly uphill. And we're not carrying anything. Smaller children carry a smaller water bottle. As they age, they get a bigger bottle. The larger bottles are the yellow bottles. They're reused vegetable oil containers.
How many does each family have generally?
I've never seen a family have more than one yet. They buy them in the open air market. We're walking by fields where these children work after they go to their half-day school. They have to pass an exam to continue to move grades. If they don't pass, they stay in that same grade for years at a time. They don't have hardly any study materials at home. I shouldn't say, they have no study materials at home. The books they have are paper books written in English that are fill in the blank that they complete as the teacher is speaking. We have adults accompanying us, but this is usually the job of a child. Just because we're foreigners, there are adults making sure that all is well as we accompany them to the location of the water. The last time we came here, it was an open spring with mud in it that they would carefully try to get water out of without getting the mud. We don't know what we're going to see yet this time. You want to pan up to Wokin Mountain?
Mm-hmm.
The town is called Wokin, named after this mountain, Wokin Mountain. The town is halfway between Dabat and Dabark in Gondar province.
Yeah, and this is wheat that they are ready to harvest.
Right.
Since it's November in Ethiopia.
If we would like to see Wokin on the Google Maps, but if you Google Ethiopia and you Google Dabat and Dabark, it's halfway between them on the eastern side. It's marked by a large rock.
So there's a very well-worn path through the field because of going for water every day multiple times.
As we're going through the path, we encounter different stone lines, and those appear to be field lines, one farmer's field to the next. So the kids have to walk over these. The path has a lot of rocks in it, and these kids are barefoot. Many of them. They have much better balance than I do.
أنت عندك ألفي هواي.
The clothing these children are wearing is the same clothing that we saw them wearing a year and a half ago.
Farmer bringing in some harvest.
We brought them clothes and what we could, and shoes, and they're still wearing the same things and don't change daily. This is just their one piece of clothing to wear. When we brought shoes in 2008 that were used, they had shared them amongst the family, and they were wearing them 2.5 years later, all tied up with little tiny strings. This time we brought more shoelaces to go with the shoes that we're leaving. There's no internet in the largest in Wokin town. Last time they didn't have electricity. This time they do. She's carrying water back for her family.
Okay.
We weighed the full yellow container that she's got on her back, and it's 40 pounds.
Yes.
And she's carrying another one beside it, going back up where we just came from. We need to.
ถ้าทดแล้วนะใช่จะทำเถอะ
Solomon.
Out, this is a place you wrote.
Yeah. Don't.
Wait, then.
Go ahead.
Carrying the glass.
Carrying the grass.
Yeah.
Solomon here, who is our translator, is in the 9th grade. He would like to be a doctor. His school, up until yesterday, had no microscope, had no chemicals. He's trying to study and do his best with very little. We brought him a light, solar light, so he could study at night.
Made by No Caro.
Most of his family have stopped their education because it's too difficult. He's ambitious and doing his best. This is exciting for us because last time we were here it was just a spring, a dirty spring, and now we're coming up to what appears to be a hand pump. Most of these hand pumps in Ethiopia that have been built are no longer functional.
Fetching the water. Sunny. Fetching the water, you photo cup.
Oh, I didn't bring a cup. We'll just watch them fill it. It's okay. Yeah, just to watch them fill it. They wait their turn for the next time to fill it, and they work the well. We found it's difficult to get parts for these wells, so when the wells break, this great opportunity goes away. We're trying to make sure that this well can continue to work, that there are people who can attend to this well who are knowledgeable and they can get the parts for this well. You might want to observe the clothing of the gentleman that is filling his water right now. As they get more clothes, they just layer them because they wear out. He's in the school, right? He's in the school? He goes to Wokin? Does he go to Wokin school?
Yes.
What grade is he in?
Grade 5.
He's in grade 5. Your name is? His name
is Ascalo.
Ascalo. Ascalo is in grade 5. How old is Ascalo?
I'm 10 years old.
He's 10 years old. The community has worked very hard themselves. They have contributed what they can.
Is this water, Sunny? Is this water difficult? With
the material. It's hard to hear you. We'll catch what you say over there when we can hear. Okay. So the kids take their turn to fill their water jug and then they walk back. Many of these wells are broken within a couple of years of them putting them in, and they can't find replacement parts for them, or they can't find people who know how to replace them. So these wells that people have been so looking forward to, and they finally get them to work, then they can't anymore. So we're trying to make certain that the wells that are here can be repaired and maintained, parts wear out, so that we can keep the water available. In this area, about half of the children used to die by age 5 because of lack of clean water. They're delightful children. They're pleasant, hardworking. They put a fence around here to keep the water from going dry by giving the water to the animals. This well is intended for people and not animals. The animals are grazing just beside us. She's trying to get it tilted so she can get the most water in it. Right down to the end. All their washing, all their food consumption, all their drinking water comes from this distance. She's catching the last few drops so that it is full before she makes the walk back. They're very careful to boil their water before serving us any coffee or anything. Multiple times they boil the water to make sure that they are... It can get very low in temperature here. It gets very cold. We're in the mountains. So if you look at what these children are wearing, and now their feet are wet, their clothes are wet, and they're going to walk back in the mountains. Last night I had sleeping here, I had a full winter coat with an inside liner, and I was under a double blanket, and I was cold. And you look at what these children are wearing, and that is all that they have.
What is she doing?
She's wrapping the rope so that she can carry it on her back. So she's getting it all set up so that she can carry this thing on her back. Some of the kids have a little bit of a difficulty lining it up. Oh, get this. They're filtering the water over the, she was
sealing it.
Oh, sealing it. That's what she's doing to get it full.
Yeah, so it won't leak out.
Don't lose any. There's a line of people all day long to fill their water.
How many people does this well service?
I'm not sure.
About 250.
I know it's supposed to be 250. I don't know if that's what this is. When we asked questions in town about how many wells they had and which ones were working, and it seemed unclear that people knew. When we've asked a lot of questions, the biggest problem they've run into is shortly after they get the well in, it breaks, and they can't get the parts, or they don't have knowledgeable people to come in and fix them. They wait years sometimes to get back to having water that they can access. Okay, are we ready to go back? Yes. So this is our halfway mark for getting water. Now they get to carry this heavy load on their back up the hill to go back down the other side. We bought 2 of these water containers and filled them with water back in the United States so that people could have the experience of carrying them. Few people would carry them more than 10 feet. And here these small girls are going to walk them up the mountain, over the rocks, one of them in bare feet. Watch out. Yeah, also watching for the cow dung. The same paths are used by everyone. So here we have the cattle coming down. We could have showed the rings back there. I don't know, maybe not. I think we're on a time deal to see how long it takes. These people really care about their community. Yesterday they assembled us to see if we could help a child who had diabetes, and the mother had no money to buy the food for this child. And he was one of the top kids in his class of 40 children. So his teacher appealed for help. Today, the whole community was involved in trying to help this little boy. Today we were asked to go visit a person who potentially has had polio. We're not certain yet. Who, even though is significantly disabled, braids hair to have others get food for them. This person, I don't believe, has left her hut because she's not capable. Being a disabled person in this land, there's no means of getting them around unless somebody would carry them. When we were in a larger city, one of our guides had a woman who was in the building next to him who had a stroke, was in her early 50s, and laid in her own excrement because she couldn't afford to pay someone to come clean it. She was given, as best as we could determine, $3 US per month for her food and care. We left finances to care for her, and we're glad to find out that when we got back this year, she's able to walk to the gate of her door, of her home. We paid for someone to go into her home and clean up what was there. A little can go a long way here. We've brought thousands of pens because if a child doesn't have a pen, they can't go to school. It's difficult to not only have the money to buy a pen, but sometimes even to locate them. We went to the closest town and could only buy about 180. And there are about 3,000 children in the community. So all the children tomorrow, Monday, will be receiving at least one pen. They prefer Bic because then they're all the same and they can see how much ink is in it. And they should be able to get a second one, so this year hopefully they can go through the whole year with pens.
Thank you.
It's our hope to come back every year and a half and make a difference. It was amazing to see the amount of change that happened in the last year and a half, because with the money that we left them, they found some matching funds so they could repair 2 of the larger wells they had. And they figured out another way to do it so they could get water to the elementary school and to the high school that they didn't have. And they could build a toilet that was only half completed because they ran out of money for cement. The community did all the labor and used mud as local materials to complete everything. So all they needed was the technical assistance and parts to pursue the fix the problems, and cement, which is not local. This community is highly organized, very generous. They care about their own. They're the poorest of the poor. Without assistance, they can't survive. They've used everything that we have given them very wisely. They were really excited to get a tape recorder because that's their technology room didn't have. All it had was last time it had nothing. This time it had a working radio. They would love to have a computer.
Ready?
They would love to have chemicals to teach their own children. They are most grateful for anything. Back in the U.S., a Sunday school class decided to earn money, and one child even gave up her birthday party so that her friends would bring Bic pens for the children here. The children here were so grateful. Little ones, oh, get the Gordon back on the back. Little ones carry other little ones. can see electric wires. They only go to the larger communities. So the people in the rural areas have no access to electricity. They say the electricity is not very dependable, that it may be on one day and not be on for several. So running a school is difficult. The rooms in the school are square rooms made of mud, so they're very dark. With kerosene, it's difficult to see. And the kids have to copy everything down from a chalkboard. So with 40 to 60 kids in a room, pretty difficult for those in the back. Most of the children are standing. They don't have benches to sit on. So they stand for half a day, writing down what they can, or they sit on the dirt floor. I think it's difficult for them to sit on the dirt floor though, because they'd be sitting behind somebody standing. This is really exciting to see. This is a brand new road that has just gone in. So it's much easier to travel from the largest city, which is Gondar, so that things could actually be brought in here now because there's a road.
How old are you?
You can see the top of Wokin Mountain over the point.
Yes. How old are you? 10.
We used to have to walk through the sides of people's homes. Now that they built the road, there's a path here beside the road, so we can go back to the mud hut. This little fellow received his shirt yesterday, so he has brand new clothes to wear. He's very happy with his t-shirt from America.
Yes.
We go this way. Now we're climbing over the fence to get to their place. Oops. Good. Oh, sorry. You go. Now through the field.
This house, you set
Yes.
How you
Yes.
see?
Yes. So we're coming up to our mud hut of our family, our local family. This is their barn, storage, and sleeping.
No, this is a new home.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Built for the eldest son, I believe.
Oh, okay. The eldest son has 5 children. And because of how the land is, they just divide the land when a child gets old enough. So,
I believe this morning the son told me there was 8 siblings, 5 boys and 3 girls.
Wait.
hello. You take a peek in there?
Yeah.
This is a brand new home. Brand new barn home. Storage.
Very nice.
5 children, 2 adults.
Okay.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice home. Nice. Yes. This is his home.
Yes.
Yes. You're now how old? 10?
Yes.
10 years. Yes. He's 10. He has 4 siblings. He just received a home. This is what the homes are made of. A eucalyptus tree. Because it grows fast. But it's very hard on the soil.
Yep. That's what I like.
This is the woman we were just told about earlier, about an hour ago, who has a deformed foot, who can't maneuver. And you can see she's working, she's sewing for her living. She does what she can do. But the people we were staying with in the mud hut, I believe, want us to give her assistance because life is difficult for her. So we'll go back and discuss what we should do and then come back. So we'll come back. Tell her we'll come back. We'll come back. We're gonna.
This
Yes.
not one place to another place, not.
Yes, she can't go. Right. We're gonna go back to your place and then come back.
No.
No, we are gonna go to your home and then come back here.
No.
No.
This place, this place. One place to another place. No.
She can't go.
No,
I know.
No.
She can't. I understand. We now are doing a movie, so we're gonna go back and come back here. No. We can't come back here.
This your athletics.
Right. Yes.
Your athletics at this.
Right. I understand.
So one place to another place.
I understand.
No.
Right. I can understand.
I'm trying to fix this one.
Yeah. We will see her later. She said later. Wish we had ballet. We will come back. We will come back here. In little time. Today. This morning. Today. We will come back here.
Come again.
We will come again this morning. Okay? As you can see, they were really, communication is difficult. The children do learn English in town, but they don't have many people who know much English to teach them English. So the reason why they wanted the cassettes in English, teaching cassettes in English, was so that they could understand better. They've learned to read out of their paper books, but when you speak with them, sometimes it's much more difficult for them to understand because they don't have good practice, English speaking practice. He thought that I didn't understand that her foot was deformed. What I was trying to say is we're going to go back to our mud hut since we have these 2 little girls carrying water, and then we come back to see what we can do to help this person with a deformed foot. This way? I'm going to take Pan, some of the children walk. The children are just delightful. Yes, the friend is good. That's what the little fellow helping me said. The friend is good. He's entertaining the children, running them places, and that makes them very happy. Last time we bought some soccer balls, they have very little to entertain them. they could use more balls with pumps because they wear out. I think we should keep walking for our water personally.
Time out. Time out.
I don't think they understand the concept.
Hello. Hello. You guys play that game. You guys get to play games. Okay?
The younger child carrying the blue container is 8 years old.
So ready, set, go.
We're coming up to where we stay. As you can see, a heavily loaded vehicle. We've left about 375 pounds of
School supplies,
blankets, medicine, what we can carry in. And we're soon to leave today. You need to watch where you walk when you come into their location, because this is where they keep the cattle at night. Actually, during the day.
Bye-bye.
They save all their manure for starting fires and for coating the inside of the mud hut because it makes it smooth, so bugs don't come in as easily. This is the barn where the people live. I think at one point there were 14 people living in here, and cattle and goats and storage. And this is the mud hut. That is our beloved mud hut. And this is Mama. We love Mama. We love, love, love Mama. Mama is the matriarch. She cares for everyone. We've left her shoes. She gives them to her children because she thinks they need them more than she does. And this is the mud hut. It has one bed on the left side and a bench. And once you go in there, see what you can see. As you can see, we're trying to find solar things that they can charge things with, so they can actually use the cell phone and lights, so that without electricity they can still study and have access to the outside world. We've already had coffee with Mama. Her coffee is the best in the whole world. And I say that unreservedly. I've had coffee all over the world on every continent, and hers is clearly the best. At night when it's cold here, it being in the mountains, as you can see, there's a lot of air flow. To the right is a bench. We've left mattresses for them. They had no mattresses to lay on, and they were so thrilled with this. And you can see the grain storage that she has, and her kitchen tools, and we eat right here.
This is where they store the water in this gourd.
Right, that's
that her granddaughter carried up the hill.
right. Yes. So
Okay,
good enough.
there we go. That's it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.